Just last week, GOP lawmaker Andrew Clyde tried to minimize the riots that took place in our nation's capital on January 6th by referring to them as not riots, but no different than a tour group walking around the nation's capital. Well, we have some newly discovered images of Clyde as the insurrectionists had stormed into the Capitol building, and the images kind of conflict with his narrative. But before we show you those images, John, I do want the audience to remember what Clyde had to say just last week.
Let me be clear. There was no insurrection, and to call it an insurrection, in my opinion, is a bold-faced lie. Watching the TV footage of those who entered the Capitol and walked through Statuary Hall showed people in an orderly fashion staying between the stanchions and ropes taking videos and pictures. You know, if you didn't know the TV footage was a video from January the 6th, you would actually think it was a normal tourist visit. There was no insurrection, and to call it an insurrection, in my opinion, is a bold-faced lie. Watching the TV footage of those who entered the Capitol and walked through Statuary Hall showed people in an orderly fashion staying between the stanchions and ropes taking videos and pictures. You know, if you didn't know the TV footage was a video from January the 6th, you would actually think it was a normal tourist visit.
Now look, people have different ways of processing situations like that. So while I personally would be terrified if I were confronted with that kind of violence, that kind of chaos, who knows, maybe Andrew Clyde was totally calm, cool as a cucumber. Maybe he wasn't worried at all. Maybe he genuinely thought that these were totally calm individuals who were just taking a nice little stroll through the Capitol building. But if you look at the images of Clyde as this was taking place, it definitely conflicts with his message there. So let's take a look at the first one. So Tom Williams tweeting, the Representative Clyde news reminded me of this. Andrew Clyde, second from the top left, helps barricade the House chamber door as rioters disrupt the joint session of Congress to certify the Electoral College vote on January 6th.
No, that's fake news, totally unfair. No, he's like, there's so many tourists out there. Some of them are old, they need more benches, bring the benches. Clearly. Look at this.
No,
fake news media.
I mean, I guess that's just how he feels about tourists, right?
He's like barricading a door.
No, but the best part is his facial expression in this next image. Let's take a look at that. Oh, it's so good. Look at his mouth. His mouth is agape. Like he's terrified. He is terrified. Andrew Clyde, the person screaming at the far left of this photo, is the person who recently likened the brutal, wildly out of control, deadly violent January 6th insurrection on the US Capitol to overthrow the will of the people to a normal tourist visit.
Yeah, hold that for a second. So the thing is, look, obviously, we're lefties or whatever, so it's not in our normal predisposition to mock a person who clearly at that moment, you are seeing a person who is terrified that he is about to be killed. That is what's on his face. If you asked me to pretend like I was afraid of being killed, I wouldn't do a job. Like he's got not only the mouth open, the hand out. His body is turned to the side as if to shield his vital organs and make himself a smaller target, because that's what he's doing. And then a couple weeks later, well, I know that this president inspired a mob to come and I was worried that they were going to rip me limb from limb, but now I kind of need his support, so I'm gonna pretend it wasn't a big deal.
So obviously this is a reflection of the cowardice among GOP lawmakers and also their narcissism and self-interest. They want to maintain power, they want to get reelected. And it's difficult to do that when the GOP base is still overwhelmingly in support of Donald Trump. So where this
and in support of the insurrection, by the way, let's just be clear.
Exactly. So
they wish that it had succeeded. They wish that the mob had gotten in, killed AOC and Nancy Pelosi, hell, killed Mike Pence too, had ripped up all of the ballots, and Trump remained president for life. That is what they support. Let's be very clear about that.
Yeah, that's right. So what do we do?
I have no idea, honestly. Like how that is. I understand that it is very easy to get caught up in the political time you're in and to believe that this is fundamentally different than it's ever been. It's more partisan, they're lying more, but how could you lie as much as that? Yeah. He knows what happened, he saw it himself, he's seen the footage. That is maybe the singularly craziest lie I've ever seen a person say, and how sad it is that he had to read it off a piece of paper. Like you couldn't even commit your insane cowardly lie to memory. Is it crazy to say, like I know that they can't, he hasn't been censured for that. He hasn't been stripped of his committee assignments for that. He hasn't been booted from the House for that. That is a crazy enough lie, and I get maybe there's cancel culture, run amok, I don't know. How can he be allowed, how can he be trusted with 1 ounce of government power when he will like fundamentally lie about the most obvious facets of reality that we all understand? That's crazier than anything Marjorie Greene has said, I think. Because Marjorie Greene clearly has things that are wrong with her, and technically space and lasers exist. So maybe you can combine them, you can put them up there. That guy knows what happened in the Capitol.
Yep, yeah.
Maybe Hillary ate a baby's face. I can't say I don't think she did. I can't say for sure she didn't. But he knows for sure what happened on the 6th.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the overwhelming evidence. Everyone can see it, but, well, first of all, to answer your question about being censured, Matt Gaetz hasn't been censured.
That's true.
He still has his committee assignments, and he's facing an investigation for potentially paying for sex with a minor.
Yep.
Which is a federal crime, obviously, and should be.
Yep.
So let's just acknowledge that.
Thanks for watching the Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR, so those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.